I used to think the harder I work and the more hours I put in, the more money I would make. Be the first one in the office, the last one out, put your hand up for all the new assignments, and then one day it will pay off. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Fast forward 5 years and I'm making double the money in half the time. So in this video, I thought it'd be interesting to share with you how to make more money by working less. Everything I'll be sharing in this video has come from a combination of my own personal experience and a lot of wasted time, literacy papers from productivity experts, and lessons from some of the most successful business people in the world. Let's get into it. The first thing I did was put myself in the right auction room. I was paid less than my worth for years, not because I lacked the skill set, but because I didn't put myself in the right room. If you're thinking you should be making more money than what you're getting, find a market that holds more value to your skills. So what do I mean by this? A friend of mine owned a piece of land. It was passed down from his parents and he knew he could make some money from it. So he put it up for sale through a local auction in Oxfordshire, which is just outside of London, and he made a 25% profit. 2 months later, that same piece of land, the same location, same size, exact same everything, was listed for sale by the new owners on a London website and sold for 100% profit. That same piece of land fetched a far higher price purely because it was on the right auction website where there was more demand and where the value for that land was significantly higher. I reflect on this analogy in other areas of my life. I worked in a bank where I felt like I was being underpaid. Years after years, I was asking for a pay rise and I was told I was at the maximum for my corporate title. And for whatever reason, I decided to move to a different organization with the same experience, the same set of skills, same years of knowledge, and I got paid 30% more. This is what I've learned in life. If you're not getting what you want from the room that you're in, then leave and knock on another door. I have a set of skills, be it numbers, analytical skills, speaking, whatever. But as I put myself in different rooms and different industries, that exact same set of skills is valued completely differently. So it's not always about, okay, how do I improve my skills or how do I work more to show my worth? But instead, how do I maximize my earning potential by putting myself in a room where my skills are going to give me the greatest rewards? Where will your skills reap the greatest return so that you're not working for less than your worth? Number 2, the Steve Jobs rule. This rule is one that you can apply to so many areas of your life, your career, your relationship, your businesses. And I've called it the Steve Jobs rule because he applied this principle to turn Apple around and stop it from going bankrupt. It's the Pareto principle, and it suggests that 20% of the cause creates 80% of the results. In relationships, we get 80% of the joy from 20% of our partner's behavior. We wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. Well, maybe 100% of the time for me. And when it comes to my YouTube, 20% of my videos have brought in 80% of my revenue and subscribers. When Steve Jobs came back to Apple and the company was struggling financially, the first thing he did was identify where 80% of the profits were coming from, and he cut the remaining products out. And for a long time, Apple's brand was based on the iPad, the iPhone, and the Mac. It's not always going to be 80-20. It can be 70-30 or 90-10. But the point is, the majority of results come from a minority of causes. And the reverse is also true. The minority of results come from the majority of causes. And I use this concept to make more money whilst working less. I think about what 20% of my to-do list is going to produce 80% of the results. And I focus only on those areas which have the highest return on investment. I align my day so that I can give the most focus to the projects that pay the most and then move on to the lower impact projects after the cash cows have been tended to. Number 3 is set an achievement date. I'm the sort of person that if I plan to try something new, I'll spend ages trying to make sure I understand every single thing and that I have a plan for every possible outcome before I even start. However, I have learned that this is far from ideal, and to actually make more money and work less, I need to make sure I don't stay in the emotion phase for too long. And there's a quote on this: don't mistake activity for achievement. To produce results, tasks must be well organized and properly executed. Otherwise, it's no different from children playing around in the playground. Lots of activity, no achievement. So now when I have a new idea or a new project, one of the first things I'll do is set an action date. When I first wanted to get into real estate, I would spend weeks, months learning every single minute detail that I can. I get my head around every number and then analyze every part of every deal 3 times over. What would the returns be? What are other properties selling for? Finding out who has put in an offer, what price, what returns are they making? And I just didn't, for whatever reason, put the offer in. I wouldn't pick up the phone and say, this is my offer. And part of this was because I was too concerned about what would happen if my offer was accepted. Then I need to do all the work. And what if it didn't work out? What if I then lost the money? I was so stuck in the motion phase. The wheels were moving and I'd done all the preparation that I needed to that I felt like I was getting somewhere and I was on my way to making money, but I actually just wasn't making the money. I wasn't taking the final step to get me to the end result. I wasn't taking the action needed for me to stand a chance to make more money. So now, whenever I start something new, I will first pick an action date for when I'll do that thing and work backwards. I can always move it around, but I'll give myself a non-negotiable date of when I'll move from the planning stage to the action stage so that I'm not working for longer than I need to, doing the wrong thing. Knowing that you have something that you're working towards will help you get out of your own head and get to the results you're looking for quicker. The fourth thing I did was focus on value over hours. To escape the time for money trap, you need to create scalable and automated source of income that are not directly tied to your time. For most of us in day jobs, the main way we think about increasing money is by either working longer hours or increasing the value in your existing role to increase your salary. And this was also my thinking for many years. The issue with this is that it comes with the limitations. There is only so much of your time you can sell. I mentioned in one of my other videos, I have a friend who's a personal trainer. Before the pandemic, she used to do one-to-one coaching sessions. She would do this through her local gym. She would go to people's houses, she would train them, she would do it through her gym. She was fully booked and she had almost 50 clients. When she got comfortable with the one-to-one, she started expanding, doing group sessions, hiring rooms, running workout events. But after a point, she realized it became impossible to keep taking on more clients, to keep hiring bigger rooms, because no matter what she did, she just didn't have more time to give. She was capped. She could earn a bit more here and there, but there wouldn't be any sharp increases in her income. Then the pandemic hit and she went online. She started off making free content whilst at the same time building an app that tells people what to eat, what workouts to do. And then when the app launched, the majority of her clients signed up to the app. Friends were recommending other friends who were recommending other friends, and there was no cap to how many people could sign up and therefore how much money she could make through it. She was putting in the same hours, but making more money. Of course, the latter may be more riskier. It's a riskier route to start at that point. There isn't always a guarantee that will work out, but the rewards can be much greater. If you want to make more money by working less, to get out of the rat race, you want to change your perception of working to sell your time for money. Think about a skill you have that can add value to the most people possible, and think about using that in a way that can positively impact others and what the biggest problem you can solve can be. The fifth thing is to be the captain. And there is something that Naval Ravikant tweeted that has really resonated with me over the last year. And it is that what you choose to work on and who you choose to work with are far more important than how hard you work. And that really tells you everything you need to know about working smart. It doesn't matter how hard you're working if you're not working on the right thing. And even if you are working on the right thing, no matter how capable you think you are, you will always get to a point where to take it that much further, you need to work with the right people. And there is a saying that is, the captain commands, but the rowers steer. And it highlights the importance and the role each person plays and how they all work together to make sure the boat is sailing in the right direction. In the same way, if you constantly get bogged down in the day-to-day tasks and you get fully involved in rowing, you won't be able to see the bigger picture and know whether or not the ship is even sailing in the right direction. A way to make more money without doubling your time or working harder is by working on the business. Spend your time working on the business and then get the support of others who are more skilled than you are in different areas to work in the business. So those are 5 things that I've been doing to make more money whilst working less. If you want ideas on income streams you can start, which don't require you selling your time for money, then I have another video here that you may enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video.